Julio.
All right, everyone, welcome to another edition of the list review. Today we are going to be showing the Northern Throne GT set in Baguio. It's super exciting. Hi, my name is Joe. I'm joined here with Lance, and we are
Hello,
going to
everyone.
take a look at the list we have for the 22-player GT up in Baguio, up in the mountains. It's so hype. And the most fun thing about this for us is that a lot of these people we don't recognize. Like they're either new players or people who are like completely new to the scene. And we are so excited to see how they do and what lists they brought. Do you have anything else to say, man?
This is the first ever GT happening in Baguio, and for some spicy history, this was initially a team tournament that was stopped by a storm, but they persevered, and the fight for the Northern Throne continues. I can't wait to dive into these lists with you, Joe.
Yeah, man. All right, let's
Let's
go. Let's start
go.
in. Let's
Let's go.
go.
Okay,
We have 22 lists that we have to go through, so we're just gonna go by them already.
okay,
First, we
go.
have Bob with Night Hunt. With You Will Be Missed, Karen Rip again. So he has Vanishing Phantasms for the teleport every his movement phase. Lord of the Underworld's Aetherop Machinery is probably for the Chronomatic Cogs. Battle Tactics are Scouting Force and Attuned to Gairan. And take a look at this. Lady Olinder, backed by 3 reinforced units of Mirmorn Banshees. And the second
Uh,
regiment is the Scourge of Gairan Kurdos, with the unit of Chain Ras, Fire Guys for the Mortals when you're standing on the same objective, and Spirit Host to give Kurdos most likely a 4-up ward, because of course. Next one, we have the Cairn Wraith with the Light Shard of the Harvest Moon, so it's +1 attack once per battle for units fully within 12 on their combat phase. And then we have the Terrifying Entity, which means that hit rolls of 1 to 3 always misses. And then backed by that is the Grimghast Reapers that's reinforced. So the Cairn Wraith has an ability to have +1 attack to Grimghast Reapers while they are fully within 12 of it. So you have 3 blobs. You have Lady Olinder, you have Lady Olinder with Banshees, Kurdos with the Spirit Host, and Cairn Wraith with the Grimghast Reapers. Very, very threatening. What's your take on this?
oh man, so many Mirrormorn Banshees. That's such an efficient war scroll right now. The 4 ethereal is always very scary. It being a 3-drop, I think, is very daring because it makes it's kind of neutral in making a bid for priority, and I think if Night Hunt controls priority, it's actually very strong. Chain Ras, very nice cheap screen. Kurdos, solid assassin all around. Night Hunt's gonna be scary. This is someone to look out for sure.
No,
Scouting
for sure.
Force, Scouting Force attuned to Gairan kind of highlights how much this is gonna be a tempo list. But yeah, that's all I gotta say really.
Yeah, no, Truth Gairan is very interesting considering that you said that Night Hunt cares a bit about the turn order.
Yeah.
Going Attuned to Gairan first here probably gives him a sort of way in order to still score points even when you're going the bottom of the round. So yeah, I wouldn't. You're right. I wouldn't be surprised if Bob ends up taking all of this home or at least placing the podium. I know this is daring to say. This is the first list that we've seen, but like
Yeah,
it's.
we got a winner already.
I don't know, man. Oh, pack it up. We're done.
Okay,
This
okay,
review is
okay. Hope you
done.
enjoyed the video.
All
All
right.
right. Well, okay.
All right.
Oh,
Next, we have Riz with the Disciples of Zinj, Word Flame Host, so -1 to wound while the unit is burning. We have Attune to Gairan and Intercept and Recover. We got the Lore of Change and the Morbid Conjuration, 60 points already before anything's already fielded in the board. We have Kairos and 20 Blue Horrors and Brimstone Horrors. We got 2 MSU Pink Horrors. We got Reinforced Flamers, which is the shooting teeth of the list. We got Lord of Change with the Rod of Sorcery, with the Weird Flame Blade and the Nexus of Fate. And then
nice.
we have 2 MSU units of Screamers of Zinch and 1 Chaos Spawn of Zinch. Very, very interesting. This is shades of what Disciples of Zinch was during the previous season, right? Except
Yeah.
with Illusionist on the Lord of Change. So it's super interesting to see this getting played. As I said, there's like 120 points split between the spell lore, manifestation lore, and the chaos one. um, before things are even placed on the board. So super interesting to see how Reese is gonna play this one. But Disciples of Zeech is always going to be up to the pilot, I think. So it's all up to him.
Yep, definitely dancing on the knife's edge here. Attune to Gairan and Intercept are very good choices because this is effectively a moving castle, and you're probably going to put like two blobs of pink horror. If you put the pinks and the horrors in front to take Attune, that wouldn't be hard. Intercept and Recover is such a great choice for Zinj because it allows them to, if they take the double and they have to drop a treasure, they can basically change the battle tactic using Kairos' ability. So it's great synergy, great for the list choice. Uh, but yeah, you're right. Zinch is 100% going to be dependent on mostly scoring tactics rather than straight up murdering their opponent, and it's definitely a high skill army to play. So
Yeah,
yeah, good
super.
job, good luck, Riz.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck to Riz. Yeah, two drops though, so at least you have a chance to get the turn order there. And next one is Zack with the Ogre Moltrize Greedy Eaters, Master the Paths and Restless Energies, Lore of Maw Magic, Primal Energies. We got two Butchers leading both regiments. One of them have Reinforced Iron Guts and Reinforced Gluttons. Four Lead Belchers, and then we have two of the Soggy Iron Blasters and eight Lead Belchers. The Iron Blasters absolutely threatening. 5 damage per shot is gonna be so threatening. There's, I mean, it's just gonna absolutely inhale. And then as soon as you try to tag them, they have anti-charge. But also, you're probably gonna have to worry about 8 Iron Guts and 12 Gluttons in your face.
No, for sure. And this guy has a more of a sustain, right? With Greedy Eaters being able to return a slain model if they were in combat with an enemy unit that they destroyed. Gruesome trophies for +1 to hit against heroes and monsters. And Mage Swallower for that -1 ward is really good. Two Iron Blasters is an extremely aggressive choice. Only one of them will really benefit from the shooting ability, but it just shows that this guy is wants to snipe heroes out for Master the Path. And Restless Energy is a very confident battle tactic, meaning he does want to move forward and kill. Eight lead belchers is a less common choice, but I think piling on sorry, he has 12 lead belchers. I think it is not the most
Yeah,
common choice, but I think that if he wants to pile on the pressure, that's a very good way to express it.
there's only really one way to play this army, and that's to go forward and kill
Yeah,
stuff. So
two butchers though for run and charge, so he wants to have the option to spread out. Did he put down a terrain feature? I don't think he put a terrain feature down in this
I
one,
don't
did he?
think so.
Okay, so no
One
maw
could
and
assume
no.
that there is, but also I could assume that there is, but also, I mean, you got two butchers. They're gonna be moving around.
That's
So
true. No, the
probably,
problem with assuming there's a terrain piece for this though is that there are two options. So it being
yeah.
silent is kind of tough, I think.
All right. Well, we'll see. Good luck to whoever
Yep.
has to face
Good.
this.
Yeah. Good luck, Zach.
Yeah, but also good luck, Zach. This is a really fun list. I can't wait to see you perform. Next, we got Seb, Magakin of Nurgle, Utot Neuroticus,
Ooh,
which means Neuroticus' fart. We got Plague Cyst, which means that it's the Blight Kings of faction. Lore of Malignance, Benedictions of Sickness for Prayer Lore, Twilight Sorceries for the Manifestation Lore, probably to protect against shooting. Next, we have for battle tactics, we have Attune to Gairan and Intercept and Recover. Seems like the choice for Nurgle players out there. We got Scourge of Gairan Roticus, which is basically an auto include in this army already. We got Reinforced plus go of Blight Lords, so the cavalry. Next, we have the Reinforced Blight Kings. We have Stoppity Battle Piper, which is just so much for the army, assuming you roll a 2 up during the combat phase. Next, we have the Harbinger of the Cave for the second Priest. We have Lord of Plagues and two MSU Putrid Blight Kings. So this is 2 drop. So it's actually very versatile. What do you think?
yeah. So I think that Achuta Gairan is almost like bread and butter for Nurgle at this
Mm,
point.
mm,
The This is a very slow army, so I think Intercept is an interesting choice. It kind of hints maybe that the player is a bit more aggressive and is confident in not taking double turns or just taking objectives, brawling them out, and hoping the intercept point, winning out in primaries and baiting out the intercept targets. Maybe, definitely a list that does not want to fight the ogre list we just saw because
no,
of all the
not at all.
anti big boy tech that they have. But yeah,
Yeah,
Harbinger is interesting. This list, does not seem. Oh no, never mind. It has an extra priest in Sloppity and
Yeah,
Rustfang to give an extra -1
you
save,
got
which is
two
really good.
priests in there, so you got the important stuff. I think. The prayer
Yep,
lore of Nurgle is really good. Not having
yep,
two priests in there would just be a missed opportunity.
that's true. So this guy wants to brawl it out, wants his stuff to die, so Plague Sis will take over. I think overall solid Nurgle list. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, we'll see. And it's interesting that he has two choices basically for battle tactics, right? Or for battle tactics, depending on how he wants to play the game. If you want to go and wait for the double turn, you got intercept and recover. If you want to go first and then you just put a true into Garan, you just make it your opponent's problem. So yeah, very versatile, which is probably what you would like to see in a singles list. So good luck,
yep.
Seb.
Good
Um,
luck.
yeah, I'm always rooting for the Nurgle player. Next, we got
Oh
Christian.
man.
Daughters of Cain. We got Snacks at 1950 points, so they have an extra command point. Start of the game. We got three drops. Laura of Shadows, which let me just check if it's the new one or not, but if it's not, well, we'll see. We got the Blood Shadow Rites and the Twilight Sorceries for Manifestation Lord, not the Daughters of Cain Manifestation Lord. So that's interesting. It is the old one, so it does have Mind Razor. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah, Next, we got Marathi Kane. Of course, we got the Blood Sisters, Reinforced. We got the Iron Scale with Sevenfold Shadow, Blood Sisters, Reinforced Bloodstalkers. We got Shooty Snakes here. We
Mm-hmm.
got Heart Renders, and we got the Blood Rack Shrine that has Zealous Orator. So it's interesting. We got the Scath Coven here, which I believe is the strike first if the snake unit is rolls a natural 8 on the charge.
Yep.
Um, it's it's a Marathi list with a Blood Rack Shrine. I would be scared shitless if Mind Razor comes up because this army is super fast. Um, Bloodstalkers and the Blood Sisters, there's always going to be pressure, and because of that, you're gonna have to force. You're gonna have to force to beat. Uh, sorry, you are forced to sort of be the one to charge them, and you have to be the one to dictate the combat, lest you get absolutely run over by either the Shadow Queen or the Blood Sisters.
Yeah. So, uh, I think initially I found it jarring to have Scouting Force and Intercept and Recover together, but I realized that since Daughters of Cain get stronger with their blood rights every turn that passes, having to stall your enemy out and wait for the perfect time to double turn them and maybe like have Scouting Force as a backup set of tactics in case your opponent doesn't want to engage you is not necessarily the worst thing in the world. It's actually versatile because you can, if your opponent engages you early, then it threatens intercept and recover. And if you want to slow the pace of the game down, or if you finish your food early, Scouting Force is there. But Scouting Force is also very risky because he only has a limited number of units that can actually do the
Hmm.
that can actually do achieve Scouting Force, right? If a few of these, maybe 2 or 3 units die, then a lot of scouting force tactics like fall away. You were half right, by the way. He's using the Christian is using the
Oh yeah, no,
new
he's using
prayer
the new
lore.
prayer lore. Yeah, yeah,
Prayer
yeah,
lore, yeah, yeah, yeah. You were half right on that. So
yeah,
other than that, solid list all around. It's like fairly aggressive. Has the blood rack shrine for spell casting, I think,
yeah.
and it's so solid shooting overall.
I think
It, yeah,
overall, it's kind of the gambit that you're running. And I think
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's going to depend on the battle plan, depending on how easy you're gonna get to start scoring scouting force, right? Because if it's a
yeah,
half-half battle plan, it is really tough to try and move forward with this list. It is relatively thin, so like you're playing at a knife's edge when you're trying to score scouting force in the first um, battle round in a
yeah,
half battle plan. I think it'll really just depend on that and how Daughters stacks the buffs that it has, in addition to waiting for the buffs to come in for the blood rights. It's definitely such a massive skill expression, and I'm hoping to see good results from Christian C because this is a really tough list to pilot, and
yeah.
all props to him for trying to pilot it.
Good luck.
Good luck. I'm sure you can do it. Next, we got Mikael P with Stormcast Eternal, Sana Manalo. Hope he wins. Stormcast Eternal Sentinels of the Bleak Citadels. So the Ruination Chamber one, 2 drops. I got Lord of the Storm, Prayers of the Stormhost, Aetherop Machineries, and so the battle tactics are Intercept and Restless. A lot of intercept so far in all these lists. We got
Yep.
Ionis, 2 reinforced prosecutors. Maybe that's why he has
Jesus.
intercept. We got Storm Coven for the spell casting. We got Vigilors, Lord Vigilant on Gryph with a Beacon of Azir and Legendary Tenacity. We got Crest with Soulsworn for the objective play, and we got, of course, we got the reinforced reclusions, and of course the Storm Reach portal. This list is very similar to the Annihilator list back in the day. Well, it still is kind of like that. You just drop it, they charge you, and then you just gotta hope that they survive. But this is, of course, we all know what prosecutors do. They drop, they are really fast, 3d6 charge. They're going to get in no matter what you do. So I think the mileage of this list will really depend on to how Miguel um, stacks the prosecutor pressure and how the opponent responds in kind. What do you think?
On paper, this list feels very thin, but I like that it's a 2 drop and how it has Ionis and prosecutors as well. Like I've seen some players use Ionis really well in that when their fast unit powers through backwards, Ionis can then, after praying twice to store up energy, use translocate on them to bring them back to to reform ranks. So intercept and recover and restless energy really just highlights how aggressive this player is. Both of his tactics are win more tactics. So kudos to you. I do not have the heart for these tactics just because I am more risk averse. But if this Stormcast does well, it's gonna feel really good. It's like a dopamine rush straight to the freaking veins, man. Your
Yeah,
reclusions. Sorry, keep going.
no, if this list wins, it wins hard.
Yeah, it
That's
wins
all.
like crazy hard, and I think the Griff Stalker is the one that lets a unit fight twice, once per game. I think
Yeah.
that's what it does. And putting that on the reclusions or a unit of prosecutors that charged is really scary. Like the moment you give this list an opening, I think it can basically tear you a new one. Especially, and I think it preys on armies that like to spread very wide.
hmm So deployment is something that you would have to worry about against this army. Good luck,
Good
Miguel,
luck.
on your GT. Next, we got Christian, Attorney Chris himself.
Oh
Um,
damn.
30, 80B's Squig Rolls. Uh,
Hmm.
Squigalanche, we got the battle tactics of Attune to Gairan and Restless Energies. We got Scragrot. We got 2 reinforced Rock God Troggoth. It's a classic. We got 1 unit of Boingrot Bounders. For the second regiment, we got Drogs the Sun Champa, and 1 MSU Rocket Troggoths. And then for the third and last regiment, we got the Loon Boss and Giant Cave Squig. That's Loon Touch and the Clammy Cow with 1 Boingrot Bounders and 1 reinforced Boingrot Bounders. Actually, very fast. There's a lot more Boingrot Bounders here than I thought. And also with the rock that Trogos is standing in the center, probably with Jogs at the back and -1 to hit, and you cannot all out attack. Those Trogots are gonna stay there for a long time. There, I don't think you're gonna be able to really try to get a sneaky one on this Trogots.
Yeah, I think Attorney Chris is really, really good at the whole hammer and anvil thing, right? So he moves the Troggoths forward, and the Squigs are just this revolving hammer that he can throw out. It him going for the 4 drop feels like an interesting and deliberate choice, especially because he wants to have that the control for the priority role. Because especially because the amount of time he has with the moon is relatively limited, with Scragrot bolstering how long his Troggoths get that extra save. So
hmm
one thing that I really like about this list is drugs, giving that extra -1 to hit, making Troggoths really frustrating to fight. This is probably the best attrition list that we've seen in the tournament so far. Probably the most resilient one. Very different from like the very aggressive lists we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Achunta Gairan, though, as a 4 drop, I think is a good choice because if he fights other Achunta Gairan lists, if he goes first, he can take the center. If he goes second, he will challenge whatever takes the center with Rocket, Troggots, and Squigs. And then with being a 4 drop means that he can re-roll the priority roll, giving him an advantage in trying to get the double turn. Very elegant list, plays well into the playstyle that I think Attorney Chris is really good and really successful with so far. Good luck to him in the very aggressive landscape that we've seen so far.
No, for sure. Yeah. This list is. I can already see this list. You double turn this list, and then you're just ending up disappointed. Good
Oh
luck at
yeah,
30
yeah,
Chris. Yeah, good
yeah.
luck at 30 Chris for this game. Next, we have another
Ah,
ATB entrant, Nakar himself, Lumineth Realm Lords, Orc
all
Elves
right.
with Ops on Weeds, and a Fleetless Carriage on their Lords. We got 5 drops, and the new Luminous spell Lore of Prismatic Resonance, a man after my heart. We
Lasers.
got Intercept, Recover, and Master the Paths. And for the General's Regiment, we have Severeth. We have another regiment with Alanya and Elithor with 2 reinforced Blade Lords. Of course, they're going to have a fight up board because they're going to be near Alanya and Elithor. We got a Scourge of Gairan, Light of Altarian. Really, really good model. I really like it myself. We got Scenari Catalar and Scenari Enlightener. Scenari Enlightener has a War Scroll spell to give a unit Ethereal. So even if you're Ren 2, it doesn't matter to these Blade Lords. We got the Waste Zone. So once again, teleport and a Flawless Commander with +2 to move, fully within for units fully within 12. And then the star of the list, I think, is the Skyport Profiteers. Full right
Ah,
with 2 Grunstock Thunderers. So the Skyport Profiteers is, if I can say this, it's war crimes waiting to happen. Because there's so many things that you can do with the Skyport Profiteers. You can heal, you can heal, you can teleport, but mostly it's for that teleport, right? And the thing is, you can when you teleport stuff, you can teleport any friendly infantry unit with up to 10 models. So and you're probably going to see these Blade Lords teleport one of these days. Somehow, just 10 Blade Lords straight into your face, outside of 9. And yeah, this list is meant for you to try to charge your Blade Lords and completely be disappointed. And then after that, you just get got by the new Beam of Ish, where it's just D3 mortals and +1 for every time that it's been spellcasted before. So 5 drops, you're probably going to drop this list. But if you can make but it's definitely risking a double turn. But because he's probably gonna have more drops than you, he can also like re-roll the drops, so it's an additional protection that way. But even then, even if you try to um, double turn him, it's mm, probably very tough enough to survive one, depending on the army. And then you have the Light of Iron that's probably really good against hero monsters. You have Severeth that's really good against hero monsters. He's just gonna run around with his 18-inch move and is gonna teleport and just gonna go wherever. It's a very deceptively fast list, especially with the Code Right and the Skyboard Profiteers. Um, yeah, I don't have really much to say about this list other than good luck to
it's.
Nakar because I really like this list.
I think
Yeah, go ahead.
this list looks so insane to pilot because what he did was pick Master the Bats and Intercept with a Severeth and Flying Dwarves. So what I think is gonna happen is that he's gonna have like maybe the Cathalar, the Shrine Luminor, or Alania Elithor, the Shrine Luminor. And then he's gonna move around slowly with the Blade Lords and push out objectives down the center. And then Severeth and the Dwarves are gonna go around hunting the Intercept and hero targets. And basically form an extremely mobile hammer that can force fire a thing. If a hero feels safe because they have a ward save, the Thunderers will be like, "Nah, dude, we're gonna get rid of that ward save." Cerberus will just give it 3 headshots in a row and murk them straight up. It is a very fragile list, but at the same time, a fully buffed Lumineth Castle with a roving hammer is very scary. And I
Yeah,
think
no,
that this has insane potential and insane you can play this list. The skill ceiling for this list is nuts. You make a mistake, you're probably gonna die. But if you don't make any mistake, you control the battlefield and dictate the way your opponent deploys and dictate the way your opponent moves. I would never want to play against this list in a spread mission because the moment you spread out Severeth and the dwarves are gonna punish the shit out of anything that goes a bit too far from the castle.
yeah. And with Scenari Council, you always have +1 to cast on your wizards. And by the
Yep.
way, the Twilight Sorceries is the manifestation lore, and the spell portal is in there. So
Oh
look at Beam the Fish. Oh my
no!
god.
He can extend beam rate. That's disgusting. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a Bluetooth beam of fish. So good
This
luck,
is a bad.
Nakar.
This is a
The,
bad man.
you This is
It's
an
a bad
insane.
person.
This
It's a
is an
bad
insane
person.
list.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah. Next we have Pao. So all the
Oh,
18 people are coming in one by one. We got Pao and Soul by Grave Lords. We got Bacchanal of Blood, so +1 to cast and +1 to wound for vampire units. +1 to wound on a charge. We got Restless Energies and Intercept and Recover in this 3-drop list. We got Prince Vordry himself, reinforced Blood Knights, 2 units of Direwolves, one Vampire Lord of Nightmare Steed, Dash of Sire for the plus additional movement in the hero phase, reinforced Vargrites that can teleport on their movement phase, Vengorian Lord, and Death Rattle Skeletons. This is very aggressive. This has
Yeah.
this is two big monsters and reinforced blood knights that can get plus an additional damage whenever they kill something, which is probably going to happen if they're nearby for dry.
Yeah, so yeah, Vordry with the Pylon Tech, he's surprisingly fast. You run him and piles in during combat to catch people off guard. It's really good. 3 drops, kind of, kind of maybe expressing that Shaw Pao Galing Manila, the list like is neutral on trying to get priority. Very aggressive, I completely agree, but probably gonna have like a 1 turn windup because dire wolves and the skeletons are like very obviously screens. Lash of Sire helps push things forward. Vargeist are good for like coming in from the back. It's a list that'll probably win on like early in the game, or it'll have like a decisive like supercharged turn, and then if you survive that, it might lose a bit of steam, especially if you kill the Blood Knights. But
Yeah.
overall, still a very scary list. And killing 10 Blood Knights with a 3-up save, 6-up ward, and all the BS that comes with Soul Blight stuff. Restless Energy and Intercept and Recover. She is gonna come to you.
No,
You probably don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about getting to her. She will come to you, 100%.
the battle tactics spell death. For what
Yes.
for who's player, who's to say? But this is a very interesting list if you're not privy to all of the Soul Blight tech, which is
Yeah,
Prince
absolutely.
Vordry, pile in, +1 damage from the Blood Knights, and the Vengorian Lord, and the Direwolves were in charge, which can
Yep,
pin a lot of units.
that's true.
It's a very difficult list to pilot. So good luck to Pao.
Good luck.
Hope for good results
But
there. Next, we
but
got
this
Jesse Stormcast Eternals, Mongo, good job. Again, another Sentinels of the Bleak Citadels one. This time it's 3 drops. We got Intercept and Master Pass. Holy, they are coming to you. Similar to the previous list, we got Ionis, but this time we got Lord Imperator, and we also have Reinforced Vanguard Raptors with long strike crossbows, as if you weren't sick by them already. Um, next, we got Knight Arcanum for the additional casting. You got Annihilators and Meteor Crown Hammers. Yeah. We got
Oh
Knight
my
Recon,
god.
Envoy of the Heavens, and Stormdrake Guard. It's a very mixed arms type of Stormcast list. It's like Noah's Ark. It's like one of every. It's like one of every
Yeah.
iconic Stormcast unit.
Wow. This list.
It's really just
This
gonna come out.
list. No, like Baguio feels like the freaking Mad Max Wild West. It's so everything is so aggressive. Everyone, their mothers go intercept and recover and master the paths or restless energy. Like maybe a few of the slower lists have attuned, but goddamn, like Baguio is so aggressive. It's so scary to be there because like you're one prior roll away from like losing podium in this event. It's crazy. Um, so yeah, very all or nothing. Like with the long strikes and the with the grand hammers, you can never have an exposed flank. He's probably gonna converge on you with like the Stormdrake Guard. Like this feels like a mix of several good Stormcast lists, and he's
Exactly.
throwing
It's
everything
good
at
stuff.
the army and seeing what sticks. Ionis is like the only thing I think that stands out in this army as being less aggressive than the rest of them because Ionis tends to be like a very conservative support piece that if you power through off your opponent, you translocate that unit to safety. So
Mhm.
like this list is interesting. It feels like Ionis is like an ejector seat and everything else is like a rocket. So
Yeah.
exciting. Hope this guy will probably like finish his games pretty quickly. Like maybe grab a beer after like a quick game.
Yeah.
If you double your opponent after like bottom of 2 or bottom of 1, bottom of 2, then just grab a beer
Yeah.
with your opponent. Just chill.
Yeah, just
Crazy.
chill. Intercept
Yeah.
master paths is just insane. The list so far have been super aggressive. I'm so excited to see how it goes.
Yeah. No,
And
for
but also
sure.
I'm like super excited to see like what list we're gonna see in the future that's gonna be like actually kind of defensive and see how they place. But good luck to Jesse for
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
performance. Next we got Kendall,
Ooh.
Gloomspite Gits, Trolls and Wizards. 2 drops, Restless Energies and Wrathful Cycles. We got Trug, we got a Dank Trog Boss, and 2 reinforced Rockgut Troggots, 1 MSU Rockgut Troggots, Scragot, and Gobblepalooza. That's it. No, no, Lance. This is it.
Yeah, we just because you said we just said where's the defensive list, right? But okay, you have Scragrot, Gabapalooza, and
I
Metric
mean,
crap ton of Troggoths. Trug the
what else?
Trog King is a nice to see. I haven't seen that guy in a long time. So uh,
He's a fun guy.
this is my favorite list already because Trug is here.
Yeah.
Um, Restless Energy and Wrathful Cycles, I think is so interesting because it is so aggressive, right? Like if you take an objective of if you're a 2-drop, my suspicion is you want to take your opponent to take first, you move forward, crush them with Troggoths, and then score Wrathful and Restless. Probably if
The same.
if you have the momentum, you're gonna have a hard time scoring Wrathful too because you need to be underdog. But this list feels like it's gonna be a walk forward and kill. It doesn't have the speed and might. I feel like it could struggle in spread missions, but it is the deadliest Death Star. If you fight this in like a center-oriented mission, this will probably be one of the hardest matchups for sure for whoever plays against this.
Yeah, no, it's like it's. I mean, you kind of know what you're getting here. You got Rocklet Trolls that are like kind of slow. You got battle tactic like restless energies and wrathful cycles. It is pretty obvious. I think what you said about you want your opponent to take first. They probably get like the center objective, and then you just slam to the center objective with Trogots, and then like the opponent cries. I think the question would be yes, how would this list play in the spread missions? Like, is it gonna still stick to the same guns, or are they gonna commit to a flank or something? I think at the
Hammer
end of the day, it's just gonna be up to Kendall piloting this list.
hammers and anvils, which all hammers, which are also anvils. Like holy
Yeah,
crap! Okay, it's so disgusting. It's so good. It's fun. I love
yeah,
Trug. I hope you do well.
yeah. Good luck, Kendall. Oh well. Speaking of disgusting, we got Waves of Darkness. We got Wowitz, Champions of Chaos, which I believe is the additional attacks for heroes, right? We got Twilight Sorceries, Master the Pattern, Intercept and Recover.
Oh my! I'm seeing. I think we're seeing a pattern.
we got Abraxia. I love seeing her on the board.
Yep.
Scourge of Garan Abraxia. We got
Yep.
2 Chaos Legionnaires and 1 MSU Chaos Warriors. And then we got a Chaos Sorcerer Lord, probably to give them a 5-up ward. And then Chaos Chosen, that's reinforced. And then Chaos Knights, that's reinforced. Chaos Lord. And yeah, that's it. I was it's interesting to see so many heroes, but then I see the sub faction. I think that's probably why. Um, yeah, no, this list is meant to move forward. Yeah, no, that's interesting. This list is meant to move forward. The Chaos Warriors are probably going to either be a screen or it's probably just going to be like another backup plan in case the Chaos Knights and Chaos Chosen don't inhale something, which I highly doubt. So yeah, this is whoever's like Baguio is gonna be a bloodbath in the round. It's a center mission because this is all based on moving forward and killing stuff.
Okay, so the conceit of this list that I really like is in the artifacts because that's like where the devil's in the details and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
the Chaos Lord is going to be designed with favored is going to be picked for Eye of the Gods when it moves forward and takes objectives and stuff. Wait, Eye of the Gods is wait. How do you get Eye of the Gods again? It is if it fights, it gains 3d3. Okay, so when
Yeah,
it
if it
fights
fights,
and gets Eye of the Gods, it immediately gets 3 Dark Apotheosis points. And the thing is, like, this guy wants the Chaos Lord to die because the Chaos Sorcerer Lord has Head of the Unworthy, which means that if any hero with
there's no point.
Apotheosis points dies, it immediately gets 8 and can turn into a Demon Prince. So
Yeah.
this boss fight has stages, man. This has phases, you know?
No,
So,
the
yeah.
Demon Prince is also meant to is also going to be a subject to the Champions of Chaos sub faction. So the I believe so. So
Yeah, yeah,
no,
it should
you're
be.
right. This is going to there are details into this list wherein the big red warning signs is going to be on the Chaos Knights and the Chaos Chosen, but there's a secret second boss inside, and it's
Yeah,
actually a demon prince. It's actually like is very very good assassin, honestly.
yeah, no, because like the Chaos Legionnaires feel like they're there to right? The Warriors are your anvil, probably gonna go with the Chaos Lord. The Knights are probably gonna roam around with Abraxia. The Chosen will just go wherever the frick they want.
Yeah.
And
Although they are constrained with the movement, but you know it is what it is. You kind of get what you pay for with the Chaos Chosen.
yeah,
But
no, this
yeah,
is not. Sorry, God.
no, and Abraxia also having like so much having like a chance to do a lot of like stuff in like any combat phase. I think Abraxia is actually like very interesting in this list. It's kind of like the thing that I'm looking at to actually provide more wrinkles in this army, because yeah, it is very we don't really see Abraxia that often. Really inspired.
Same. I hope that this does well. Obviously,
Yeah.
very excited for that Demon Prince to pop out. So yeah, good luck, Palace.
Let's go. Good luck, Dallas. Thank you so
Yep.
much. All right, next we got
Uh,
Roby, Silverback Grave Lords. Another Silverback Grave Lords. So this time it has the Gash,
you.
Restless Energy and Wrathful Cycles, and Reinforced Blood Knights. One unit of Vorgeist, probably to just grab objectives. Next we got a Vampire Lord, 2 units of Direwolves, and 1 unit of Vargeist. Interesting. I'd love to see a Nagash out there, and I think it's kind of obvious, like what you're trying to do here with the Soul Blight Graveyard. It's this: you just put Blood Knights, you charge with the Blood Knights. If they die, they either come back to Nagash at full strength, or you also have another wave of them with the battle trait and just bring them back at half health. It's a very, as with every single Soul Blight Gravelord assist, it's just like it's so resilient. If you don't have the sort of like damage to sort of overwhelm them, it is going to be very difficult to try to table them. In addition to that, they also have morbid conjuration, which is probably gonna keep going off because of the cash. Um, yeah, it seems like relatively simple list, although it has a Nagash shaped centerpiece in the middle. What do you think?
Hmm. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
this feels like a classic Death Star with maybe two Vargas units to threaten flanks, and in case they want to dodge the Death Star and spread too wide, the Vargas can bully them a bit. It
yeah,
is it is going to hinge mostly. I could be wrong on the Nagash and the Blood Knight. The rest of the army is mostly there to score tactics and block for them. So
yeah. It
interesting.
is what it is.
I haven't seen the Nagash list in a long time. Good luck. I hope this does well.
Yeah, good luck. Restless energy and raffle cycles, which means that they're probably going to be there to score a lot of points from the objectives and the tactics. So it seems like a list. It seems like a thinking man's list, which is kind of typical to the guys. So good luck to Roby for this list.
Yeah,
Next, we have Angel. Shout outs. Him with the Skaven, Meaty Men, and the Cream Lord.
nice.
Ugh. We have Fleshmeld Menagerie, Restless Energies, and Scouting Force, which is very easy with Skaven. We got the Scourge of Kyran's Grey Seer on Screaming Bell, which is just does so much for the army. We have with Fleshmeld there. 3 units of Clan Rats is going to be so difficult to lift because of the Screaming Bell with -1 to hit on even numbered rounds. Storm Fiends, MSU Storm Fiends. We got the Vermin Lord Warp Seer with a Warpstone Charm, Reinforced Rat Ogres, and 1 MSU Rat Ogre. And of course, start the show Scourge of Gairan Brood Terror. This list is, well, we kind of found it. We kind of found a more or less defensive list because of the Screaming Bell. Um, the clan rats are actually going to be relatively difficult to um, pin or even try to table because of the -1 to wound and the -1 to hit. A -1 to wound from the manifestation, -1 to hit from the screaming bell. So if you try to get them in the go turn, which is more or less like round 2, right? Especially with all of the armies that we've seen, um, I don't think they're gonna be have trouble lifting rats really, but like it's gonna be a lot tougher than usual.
No, 100%. I think the Warp Seer is an interesting choice because it can give strike blast to an enemy unit. This is a very wide Death Star kind of army, and the Rogers will probably just. I mean, okay, so the Storm Fiends will probably pop up to bully the flanks, and then the Rogers will hang around the
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 center.
Screaming Bell, yeah, around the center area as well, and they're surprisingly fast for what they are. And
I mean, with a +2 to move on rounds 1, 3, and 5,
yeah, and
they're
I'm trying to figure out what the warp seer does because I don't see it very often. I just think it's very interesting. It adds 2 inches to the movement of friendly units when they use the always three claw steps ahead ability. And once per battle, it has the Pokeball. It can hurl it at something and just just murk them straight up. So
it also has a War Scroll spell to -1 to charge dice. That could be something.
that's really good. So I guess on turns when the opponent's trying to do a go, like when the Screaming Bell's -1 to hit is down, that's when it it wants to kind of cuck your opponent's charges. It's very interesting. I think that this has a very sneaky Swiss knife like tools
Yeah.
for when the shield is down, and with Screaming Bell and the Warp Seer, it's surprisingly mobile. It's like it can pounce. It's got some elements. Scouting Force is interesting. I get the impression that this is the kind of list that wants to score Scouting Force a bit later in the game, just because it's Skaven. They want to slowly like have clan rats scurry up to the other side, or if they smash their opponents, then they just get the best of both worlds with Restless and Scouting Force. So interesting list so far. Good luck.
Yeah. I think this list will perform very well on spread missions because you're gonna have to allocate so many more resources, and then the more resources you allocate spread out, the more you're gonna be disappointed with the -1 to hit. So
Yes.
yeah, good luck to Angel. Skaven, probably I think the first Skaven we see, or maybe the second. Anyway, next we got Lowell, Ossier Bone Reaper, SEAL Team Arcan, Mortec
Nice.
Phalanx, lore of Ossian sorcery, the OBR manifestations, restless energies, and wrathful cycles. Like the third list that we've seen with this combination of battle tactic cards. We got Arcan, reinforced Morgas, 1 unit of Morgas Harbingers, Mortis and Soul Mason with the Helm of Tyranny, so -2 control scroll while you're near it. We got Mortis and Oz Effector with diversionary tactics, so -2 to charge whenever you're near it. We got 2 regular Mortec Guard, the humble Mortec Guard. This seems like a very standard OBR list wherein you have the Mortec Guard for the screens. You got a
Yeah.
Morgas Archive that's probably not going to like be lifted single handedly. You got the Morgas Harbingers that's probably gonna 3d6 charge in the flanks. And then you have the Mortis and Soul Mason and the Oss Effector that's just gonna make your life a living hell if you try to charge them, which is very typical for OCR Bone Reapers. It's very good. 3 drop also, so it's very neutral, as you said, when it comes to the priority. 1930 points actually. That's very interesting. So +1 command point at the start of the game. It's yeah, with Arcan throwing out spells in the back, this seems like a very typical OCR Bone Reaper list. A mix of Morgas and Mortec. What do you think?
I think this is a list with between Helm of Tyranny and diversionary tactics to make it harder to charge. Sorry, Helm of Tyranny for like I think controlling control score is what it does.
Yeah, yeah,
It likes to dictate the fight. One of these, I can't remember if it's Archive or Harbingers. I think it's Harbingers. They're the ones with the 3d6 charge. So
yeah,
there's a universe in which you fail your charges against them because of diversionary tactics, and then they can charge back with Harbingers. This is a really solid counterpunch list, I think.
yeah.
It
I
puts
think
a lot of stock in it puts a lot of stock in the Archive and Harbinger's ability to just survive. And then they want to resurrect Mortec Guard because they know that's a revolving door screen. Archon the Black is a great buff piece and probably going to be spending a lot of its time buffing the Morghast and like summoning hordes of the Necropolis. Solid army, actually very scary blender army that it's going to be hard to outmuscle it.
I'm honestly really, in a meta in a tournament wherein every single person wants to charge, I'd put my money on the OBR list. So very exciting and very interesting to see how this goes. Good luck, Lol, on your tournament. Next, we got Antonio with Soulback Grave Lords,
Nice.
uh, Bacchanal of Blood, +1 to cast and +1 to wound on a charge, Restless Energies, and Intercept and Recover. Again, we have Burns Wardry making another appearance here, but this time with Barrel Knights and a White King on Skeleton Steed. Vampire Lord and Nightmare Steed. So it's a lot of cavalry, huh? We got Reinforced Blood Knights, a Vampire Lord, and Reinforced Varguys. Yeah, no, this is cavalry. This is cavalry, all right. Three drops also. It would be difficult to pilot this list without any screens from the direwolves. But if
Yeah.
you're fighting an army that's not really that fast and probably isn't going to catch you out because of the speed of the that outspeeds the baronets and the blood knights, you're probably in the clear. But yeah, this is a list that as you mentioned with the how Soul Bright Wave works, it's gonna really depend on how what happens after. Yeah, you're gonna have a go turn, but what happens after is the issue here. Last of the Sire has some additional movement. We got manifestations of the grave, so we got the Hand of Nagash and all the goodies there. What do you think?
I think that no, you don't want to give this list bottom of round one. If this list doubles you because it's got 1950, so it has that extra command point early on to dare a counter charge in case you move aggressively toward it, or it can set up for that. And then if they take prio to round two, it's really good. On
Yeah,
paper, it feels like a list that is trying to go for a turn one kill or or turn round two kill rather. Yeah, you're right. There's barely any screens with Baronize getting nerfed in the FAQ. So it's very interesting. It's all of the eggs in the basket of this game plan and reinforce Vargas to bully like a stray flank or an exposed hero is it's a great choice as well in case your opponent plays chicken a bit too much.
yeah,
So yeah, I think it's solid. The game plan is very apparent. Again, another very aggressive Baguio list. Restless
yeah.
energy, intercept and recover. Very confident in moving forward and smashing things. So yeah, good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, good luck, Antonio, on this list and on your tourney. Next, you got Timmy, Ratatata,
Sorry.
Ashmeld Menagerie. It's been a while. Vizik is here.
Damn.
Vizik, Reinforced Rat Ogres, Reinforced Storm Fiends, and Thankful. Two units of Clan Rats, because you gotta have a little bit of Clan Rats in there. And Jazales. Just MSU Jazales. Interesting. Scouting Force and Attune the Gairan. The Gairan. Okay. Well, there's two clan rats here that's attuning to Gairan. Yeah, I think. What do you think of this list? I mean, like you got Scouting Force that's good for Skaven. You got Attune to Gairan that you're probably gonna score in the first turn, unless you give the turn away. In which case, you're threatening a double turn with Rat Ogres and Storm Fiends. What do you think?
Okay, maybe I don't. Maybe it's my lack of understanding. I feel like it's gonna struggle to score scouting force consistently because you have the screens, but you also don't have a screen. This is the first Skaven list I've seen in a while without Screaming Bell. I don't think that's really a mistake, but it, you're just very vulnerable to the double turn. It doesn't have like the most resilience. There's no Brood Terrors. There's no um, there's no Screaming Bell. So
It's kind of giving shades of what Skaven was like in the previous
yeah,
season.
yeah, it feels like a third ed Skaven list, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because Storm Fiends still hit respectively hard. Reinforced Rogers hit pretty hard, especially with Flesh Meld. Thankful the Bone Ripper is always respectable. I would Giselles to like snipe out the random hero. I think it'll hinge a lot on how the player plays Vizik because the average Skaven player hasn't unlocked the full potential of this unit yet, and I really hope that um, I really hope this Skaven player does. Timmy does. So yeah, it looks like a really fun list, and I think that it's there for a good time. It's very smashy.
Yeah, very smashy. Yeah, you're right. Score the scouting force and the guy around. It kind of works a little like, yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
very difficult to score the scouting force here. No, I can see what you
or
read now. I
or
just
yeah,
pointed it out.
yeah, or like maybe this person's just thinking outside the box, and we're just living too much in our box, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen the lists from Baguio. Like, it's so aggressive. Good luck to me on your list. Oh my God, it's
Oh
war
my god, what
crimes
is
time.
this
It's war
title?
crimes time. We got cities of Sigmar.
Gross.
Okay, okay. Hear me out. This is the sanggunian ng mga lokal na pamamahalaan, hukbong, katihan, at mamamayan ng lungsod ni Ginoong Sigmar, aka the Union of Local Authorities, Armed Forces, and Citizens of the Cities of Sigmar. It's been a long day. It's 10 in the evening. If I mispronounce that, just don't at
Nice.
me.
Respect.
Veteran Cannoneers, 5 drops with
Ah,
the minimum of Cities of Sigmar. Primal Energies. We got the Free Guild Cavalier Marshal. We got War Crimes War Crimes committer number one. We got reinforced Free Guild Fusiliers. We got reinforced Steel Helms. We got Fusel Major and Ogre Warhawk, number two. We got Scourge of Gyran Free Guild Cavaliers. Callous and Toll. We got the Free Guild Marshal and Relic Envoy. And we got committer number 456 with the three great cannons that are 100 point each. And then we got War Forger, Command Core, another unit of Steel Helms MSU this time. Um, again, we were up, we were bemoaning the aggressive list. This list is gonna be very difficult to lift, I think, depending on if you. It's definitely a DPS check. You got the great cannons that are just going to keep pumping out the damage because of veteran cannoneers. You got the Fusel Major on Ogre Warhold that's always going to give +1 to hit. You got Free Guild Cavaliers that's not even safe even if you charge them because they could get the 4-up strike, the 4-up as if they charge. And then the Free Guild Marshal is going to give them strike first, I believe. The Free Guild Cavalier Marshal. Um, it's um, it's not safe if you stay back. It's not safe if you charge them. So take your pick. We got a battle mage, I guess, in the regiment for.
Yeah. No, this list. I'm looking for the heroic. Okay, I see the heroic trait. Where's the artifact on this thing?
The artifact is with the Fusel Major on Ogre
Sacred
War.
Tome. Okay, it's a
Yeah,
priest.
with the Secret Tome, with the prayer.
Okay. First, I want to
There's
say
no
I'm so
Dinestra.
happy. Yeah,
There's
I
no
was about to say I'm
Dinestra.
so happy. There's no Zenestra. Like, finally, like like someone who's playing the stuff they like. Like, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Honest, an
Zenestra's fun,
honest
but it's so
9 to
nice to
5
see one
Cities
without
of
it.
Sigmar list.
Okay. I like the combination of intercept and recover and wrathful cycles in this one. I think that wrathful cycles one, where they take more objectives than their opponent, is the first thing that they're going to score. And intercept tends to be like one of the tactics you score later down the line. Meaning, if your opponent is scoring tactics on a regular basis because you're whittling them down with cannons slowly, like they're probably going to make you underdog, which synergizes really well with wrathful two, and that's probably going to be by the time you get your go turn. This feels like a methodically crafted list. I really like it, even though I normally hate Cities of Sigmar. Um, the cannons are classic. They're very strong, very good against monsters. And if you're playing like a big monster list, like we see with the Vizix and the Nagash and stuff like that, then this list can be fairly threatening to you because the cannons are very consistent in wiping out monsters and
No, for
like
sure.
more elite threats and not caring about screens. The mm,
It's
yeah,
interesting, right? Because like I
yeah,
think the thing that is the most there are a few things that are non-standards. Usually in the Cities of Sigmar, you have another unit of reinforced cavalier, and
yep,
then you also have Pontifex and Estra. But
yeah.
where this list differs is the Fusiliers and the inclusion of Fusiliers and the Steel Helms. The so it's actually relatively more defensive as a Cities of Sigmar list, no?
Well, yeah,
Because
it's definitely a castle because it has the Sog cavalry, so they want you to charge into it, and when you overextend because you need to at least engage the cannons, Callus and Toll will come from the back and hit you from a weak point. This is just a solid list overall. I really want them to increase the points of command core because it's too broken honestly, and it's got five drops, meaning it will dictate the reroll. It doesn't care because of the long range of the units. It doesn't really care about going first or second very much.
yeah,
So yeah, so
similar to
that
other
prior is not
lists,
important.
yeah, similar to other lists in this GP, I'm really considering how they are going to play spread and missions. I think it is going to be a bit more of a struggle, but Cities of Sigmar has enough muscle to burst out of the castle anyway and score more points. But let's see.
Yeah,
Good luck, Nate. This is a really interesting Cities of Sigmar list.
yeah, it's very
Next, we
scary.
got Eman,
Nice.
Kero Croak, Eternal Star Host. This is about this is Laurel Celestial Manipulation. So it's the one with points. Morbid Conjuration because he has Lord Croak. Bastillon of Arc of Sotek, love it. We got Scourge of Gyran, Source Old Blood on Cornosaur. So this is this is absurd. This is a really good one. Incandescent rectresses for D3 heal at the end of any turn. We got Ancient Defender, so it has +1 to hit on companions, and Being of the Stars, so it's ethereal.
Oh,
Good luck. um, and then we have reinforced Saurus warriors, two of them. So they have +1 to save while they're all contesting an objective. We got the Sking Star Priest for a cheap wizard, but also gives crit auto wounds. And then we have Hunters of Guanxi with dart types, two of them just deep striking and probably planting on an objective. There's a regiment 3 here, but no one's here, so it's just 3 drops. Croak is not Croak is has been slept on a little bit this season because of the obscuring changes. It's very difficult to get off his spell now because you need visibility in order to deal D3 damage. However, that's not going to stop Croak from still being a little bit of a menace. Just casting Morbid Conjuration and then also having a board-wide Unbind. It's just a really good unit in order to command the hero phase both on your turn and your opponent's turn. What's probably gonna happen is that the Saurus Wars are we're just gonna sit on an objective and then wait for you to charge them. And then when you charge them, you got Old Blood and Carnosaur probably in the flanks and just like wiping out anything that it touches. Bastiladon with the Arc of Sotek is a really good blender, so it just deals D3 mortals just off the rip. And then once you charge the Saurus Warriors, you're probably gonna be disappointed. And then after that, Dark Croak is just gonna blast with D3. So this is one of the lists that's probably a bit more defensive. I say that with an Old Blood on Carnosaur that's ethereal, but it's a lot slower. It's very slow. You don't really have the Beastmaster for the +2 to move. You can use the +2 to move asterism, yes, but you don't. There's no Field Marshal anymore. So these Swords Warriors are probably going to be moving 5 or 7 at least. Um, the Bastiladon as well is moving 5. It's relatively slow army, but it's very interesting to see how it goes because he does have restless energies, which means that he's going to try to wrestle the objectives away from you. But I'm struggling to see how he can do that with Saurus Warriors, but he can. The Old Blood on Carnosaur can probably do that. You're gonna have to worry about the Old Blood, and then meanwhile, Saurus Warriors are gonna be moving slowly up into the up um for um the rest of the objectives. And then Lord Croak is probably going to try to snipe out the heroes for Master of the Paths, as well as the Bastiladon. This is a very good list to snipe out those small heroes. You can either have the Old Blood on Carnosaur, or Croak, or Bastiladon. There's just like a lot of random stuff that can deal damage to you, and the Realm Shaper engine can deal D3 damage also. It's it's a really deceptive list. You're gonna think that you can try to win against it, but in reality, it's just slowly moving towards you, and you don't have any answer to it.
I think.
So yeah,
Sorry. Like, okay. The Carnosaur is the star of the show because I think it is the most consistent hammer of the list. But I think what dictates the game plan of this list is the positioning of the Saurus Warriors because that's where you want your opponents to be locked in, right? Then the
mhm,
Carnosaur goes around like eating things. I think that hmm, yeah, it has this list has one solid hammer, and the rest is like utility, meaning that Emman has to play kind of out of his mind to finesse his opponents. Eternal Star Host is an interesting choice, right? Because you get to teleport something. I don't
yeah,
know how Emman plays. I wonder what he's going to teleport. My gut tells me it's the Carnosaur because it basically like wins an entire flank on its own sometimes. But separating a unit from this sort of like pseudo castle is very daring. So I think this guy Emman might be thinking outside the box here, and I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like there's something like oddly threatening about this. But yeah, that's just how I see it. It's interesting. It's a very interesting list.
yeah. As I said, like it's very deceptive because like you see it and then you're not necessarily sure what's gonna happen, but I don't know. He could be cooking with gas here, and we're just not smelling it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Good luck, Emin, on this list and on
Mhm.
tier GT. Next got CJ with Skaven, Fleshmill Menagerie, Intercept, and Wrathful. Um, Noho Vizik again, love it. We got Master Molder, Clan Rats, Rat Ogres. The formatting's a bit weird. Another Rat Ogres, Net Next, we got Gracier, Clan Rats, Reinforced Storm Fiends, and a Brood Terror. Not Soggy Brood Terror, just a Brood Terror. And another Master Molder.
Three sets
Interesting.
of. I think that's a reinforced unit of Storm Fiends, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a
It is.
reinforcement of Storm Fiends with Warp Fire
Hmm.
projectors.
Okay, I really respect that there's no Screaming Bell in this one. It is
Yeah,
just. It just wants to. It feels like it just wants to smash. Like
yeah.
it's got 2 units of Clan Rats, I guess, for recursion. The Rogers are there.
It's similar
It's
to
a
the one
solid
that we
smash
saw.
list.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
solid
similar to the
smash list.
another physic that we saw earlier.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, it also has that nice combination of Wrathful and Intercept, but probably with a much faster tempo. I don't know. But yeah, I don't have a lot of comments because it will just be a repeat of the comments I made
yeah,
like in the previous
sure.
game and list. So
Yeah,
yeah, good luck,
good luck,
CJ.
CJ. Yeah, good luck. Next, we got Rommel. Here we go. A thinking man's list. Restless energies and wrathful cycles on Sons of Behemoth. We got King Broad, War Stomper, Kragnos, and the Hurtling Hogs. Um, yeah. What else is say in this list? Well, there is a lot to say in this list. Kragnos is going to 3d6 charge. It's not Broad Stomp. It's just Breaker Tribe this time, and the Hurtling Hogs are probably just it are two other monsters that's really just going to blender every single thing that it comes across its way. What are your thoughts on this list?
It's very strong. So it's traditionally strong. Kragnos is always solid, giving 3D charge of destruction units on their turn. Broad's great for utility, though the only thing it's really buffing is the War Stomper. This is like a list that did really well in the Wartilio GT and is
Yeah,
actually a really good list from the previous GHB. And I think I've seen people translate that to this era of GHB, and it still does decently well. It doesn't counter all the lists, but for what it's worth, it's still very solid if played in the right hands. A double turn from this is almost still going to be certainly fatal, and there are some missions where this list just straight up wins. Probably will struggle in spread missions, but if you spread too far, Kragnos will give 3d6 charge or something and punish you. So yeah, overall solid list. It's proven.
yeah.
It's been proven, and I do not want to play against this.
Me neither. Restless energies and wrathful cycles. So a lot of holding objectives, which is probably the way to play for Sons of Behemoth.
Yeah.
So yeah, good luck, Romwell, on this list. Next, we got Dre V. I got a bone to pick with you. Good one. We got
Hmm.
3 drops. The OBR manifestations. We got Restless and Wrathful. We got Leech Cavalos, Reinforced Death Riders, 2 crawlers. Because this is Mortek Batastari list. We got Mortis and Bone Shaper with Diversionary Tactics and Marrow Pact. We got the Reinforced Stalkers. We got a Soul Reaper that's probably going to be with the Stalkers, and then Reinforced Mortek Guard and another MSU unit of Necropolis Stalkers. Um, okay, so this list is going to be all about dictating which person goes first in the combat phase. Because Mortar Crawlers have an ability to give out strike last. The Soul Reaper has a fight again with another unit. That unit has +1 to hit, which can either be with the Death Riders, probably not, but it's probably going to be with the Necropolis Stalkers. Restless Energies and Raffle Cycles means that Dravi over here wants to move forward, score points. Gonna be interesting to how he does that. Probably with the Death Riders, it's really the only very mobile thing in his list. Alongside the Leech Cavalos. So yeah, a lot of fight again, and a lot of strikes last. So it's actually very interesting to see how he stacks up the combat phase with this list. Because you got the Soul Reaper, you got the Leech Cavalos, fight again, all that stuff. You also got reinforced Mortic Guard that honestly is it's a nightmare to deal with, especially if they didn't move. Um, so yeah, very interesting OBR list. The Mortek Guard is a very good screen. What do
I
you
I really like this list. I think that this list has a very solid game plan. I I pin your weaker flank with the Death Riders, and then I shoot the crap out of you with crawlers along the way. And you're right; it is about dictating the fight. I think where this would struggle though is because one half of the army is like super slow, and the other half is super fast. That um, the player will need to be very good at choosing which OBR battle traits they're going to be using, right? Because it only affects one hero per turn,
Yeah.
per
Yeah.
phase rather, right? So if the army splits too much and there are too many different points that they need to be effective in, maybe it'll struggle a little bit. But otherwise, I can see this being really strong.
Yeah, I'm again, this that in a tournament that's built with people that just want to charge. I'd pick my money on the OBR. All right, good luck,
Yeah.
JB. This is a
Good
really
luck.
good list.
Yeah.
Rooting for you. And
Oh,
oh my God, that's it. We're
we did
back.
it.
We did it. We did it.
That was actually more fun. That was really fun, actually.
Yeah, no, that was fun. No, I'm so interested to see what happens at the end because, again, as we said, the lists are so aggro. And it's gonna be such a bloodbath. I'm so excited.
Super.
I'm so excited to see how everyone does and what lists come out on top.
I know. So maybe like Joe, let's talk about it when the podium or when we find out what the podium's like on Sunday. See studying the path to victory would be very interesting. I'm so happy that Baguio is running on the. This is their first GT, and there's such an awesome and vibrant community, and I love the fact that there's just a few hours drive from us.
Yeah, it's so exciting to see so many players in there. And I can't wait to go up there myself and probably go to another tournament or to see them here as well in Manila to fight our tournament. And speaking of our tournaments, there's gonna be another tournament, another GT literally 1 week
What?
after this.
What the hell? Really? Oh yeah, we're both
Crazy.
playing. We're playing there, aren't we?
We're playing that one. Huh?
Right.
So if you're looking to join a 5 round tournament, we're going to be in the Atelier Tabletop Brew Space GT tournament still. Signups for that are still open. So if you're interested, please do sign up. I believe the deadline of that is 25. So you only have a few days left. Sign up now. Thank
Yep.
you so much, guys. It's always fun doing this, and I feel like our last one was 2 years ago, the 2024 one.
Yeah.
No, a
Yeah.
year ago.
Yep. Well, no, I think we did. No, we did a Wartilio GT review.
It was
No,
a
we did a
20.
Wartilio GT review.
Yeah, we did a 2020. Oh, okay. Oh
2025.
no,
It was this year.
oh,
Okay.
this year is great. Okay, sorry. All right,
No,
all right.
so many.
I
No,
was.
no, you're right. So many things happened this year. So like, I feel.
All right, guys.
But yeah,
I'll see
if
you
you.
guys. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you
Whoa.
in the next video. Like and subscribe and all
There
that
we go.
stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.